Welcome back to another edition to Root to Rising podcast. I'm excited to be back with two special guests today, Emma and Josie, to join me in another interview about women that just graduated college and are now emerging professionals. Once again, Root to Rising is a platform that was created for women to share their experiences, their journeys to other women to learn, to grow, and to find their true purpose. So thanks, Emma and Josie, for joining me today. And this one is a little off on the recording. We're not going to drop this on a Wednesday. We're calling this Thirsty Thursday. So cheers! And so Emma, Josie, and I are recording on a Thursday night, and we're going to drop this one on Thursday in celebration of that. So welcome to the show, Emma and Josie. So why don't you each start out? Emma, we'll start with you on a quick introduction about yourself.
Okay, cool. I'm Emma. I went to the University of Alabama. That's where I met Josie. We now live in Nashville, and we're having a blast. It's a great time, and I'm so glad to be living in Nashville with all the girls. It's been honestly the best thing we could have done. So, yeah.
Awesome. Josie?
Yeah, I'm Josie. I'm here with Emma, as she said. We both went to Alabama. We both lived together for 3 years
Yeah.
of college. And now we both are lucky enough to live in Nashville together. We both kind of studied different things. I studied PR, she studied marketing, and we kind of were a little bit overlapping, not really, but we got to see each other grow like in college, and that was really special. And now we were not ready to leave each other just yet. So we moved to Nashville together.
Never ready. I'm never going to be ready.
Never ready.
I love it. So when you were in college, you each PR and marketing. Why did you guys choose that major for each of you? Kind of what were your, history or your reflection points that you decided to major in those?
You go ahead.
For me, it was more so it's kind of interesting because I do have dyslexia, and writing was never something that I really enjoyed doing, but it was something that I was good at. And so I knew that like going into college, I thought that PR was like a different avenue where I could use my writing skills into kind of like becoming good at that profession. And so I kind of went into it like not even really knowing anything. And to be honest, like freshman year of college, I think I took a lot of like your gen ed classes, and it was pretty broad. So I didn't even really get the taste of PR until like later in college. And then I ended up falling in love with it. And it does involve a lot of writing, but I think it's deeper than that. And so that's kind of where I found like my passion for it. And I also got really lucky with like great professors and stuff like that to kind of make PR what I thought it was going to be, or different than I thought it was going to be, and better in that aspect. So that's kind of why I went with PR and kind of stuck with it throughout college. But going into it, I really had no expectations of what it was going to be.
Did you mention that you had dyslexia or you have dyslexia?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you made it like oh, by the way. So
Oh,
what was
gosh.
that? What was that like in high school and college having to manage through that? Because I'm sure everything was very different for you.
Yeah, no, so I remember when I was in, like, 4th grade, I think it was, I literally refused to read. Like, this is when we did, like, the SSR, like, the silent sustained reading or whatever, like, during
Yeah,
elementary school, and
yeah.
I would fake have a headache or a stomach ache every time SSR came on, and I would go to the nurse's office,
Oh,
and they would call my mom and be like, "She refuses to read." Like, she genuinely refuses. So my mom was like, "Oh, there's something wrong with her eyes." So we went to every eye doctor possible, and then this one eye doctor was like, "Wait, it's actually not that, like, I'm secretly doing a study right now with kids with dyslexia. She has dyslexia." So my mom
wow.
was like, "Oh my god, would have never known." So then in 4th grade, I ended up going to a different, like, school for, like, a few hours every day that was, like, a one-on-one learning, and they kinda taught me how to, like, combat that. And so honestly, ever since 4th grade, like, I really haven't even thought about it. It's kind of, like, retrained my brain of how to kinda, like,
Hmm.
counteract it. So since then in, like, high school and college, like, I didn't even, like, notice that there was anything, like, I guess, wrong, but it was something that I just, like, ended up working with, so it really didn't pay too much, like, or I guess hurt anything in high school or in college, so I was lucky for that, that's for sure.
That's amazing that you got to diagnose that early and then figure out how
Mhm.
to cope with that. I mean, you make it sound like it's very simple, but if you would have had to deal with that and not knowing what it was, that could have probably impacted a lot of things. So that's awesome,
Yeah, for
actually.
sure.
So Emma, how about you? How did you pick your major?
Okay, so I want to do economics for some reason. And then I realized I was horrible at math, which transitioned me to marketing, which is also lots of math. I took like finance, statistics, like all of the business maths, and I mean, I don't know how I got through it, but I was horrible, and, I ended up on marketing. My mom did marketing my whole life, so it was kind of like that was kind of the inspiration. She worked in out-of-home advertising, and so I ended up interning in college for an out-of-home advertising company, and I work for them now, so it's great, but I landed on marketing, and I mean, it wasn't the easiest thing ever, but I got through it and I loved it, and one of our friends also was marketing, so we had a lot of classes together, got me through it, but it was great.
That's awesome. So how did you all get jobs right out of college? Because I feel like right now a lot of people that have recently graduated are challenged or struggling to find a job based on lack of experience or just the right jobs out there. So maybe talk us through and tell some of the folks, what they can do to help get a job right out of college. So maybe Josie, will start with you.
Okay. For me, I didn't really have like an idea in mind of really what I wanted to do out of college. I obviously ideally would have loved to work in like a PR firm or done something like that. And like that still is the dream to some extent, but I was also okay with the idea of I need to make money. I just moved to a new city and like honestly building my resume is the best thing I can do for myself right now. So I was applying, getting to the end of the applications and then hearing nothing back. And I was getting so frustrated, and it just became one of those things where my sisters live in Nashville and my middle sister lives in the Nations, and there was a bunch of billboards everywhere for this like cowboy fence company. So it's literally like cowboys who build fences for homes.
Oh, that's awesome.
They yeah. And my sister was like, "You might as well call and, like, apply."
Yeah.
So I applied, and immediately, I remember I got out of the shower, and the girl called me, and I was like, "Oh, no." So I answered, and I was like, "Hello?" And she was like, "How, like, quick can you start?" And I was like, "Oh." And keep in mind, I was just gonna answer phones, so this was gonna be, like, a meantime. This was gonna be, like, a until I find my forever home, like,
Yeah.
job. And so I started working there for a few months, and their whole big thing is like growth and growth and growth. But I also have seen, which I'm lucky to have older sisters, to where companies say that sometimes and they don't actually
Yep.
stick with their word. And then eventually you're in the same position years or later and you're like,
Yep.
what happened to me? So I kept reminding them of that, being like, I want growth and I want an opportunity to change. And so they took me up on that offer, and 3 months after working answering phones, they actually promoted me to being, like, the marketing girl. So I've been doing all of their marketing, which
She's being humble,
I have no idea really what I'm doing, but
doing God's work.
they've given me a lot of opportunity to learn, which is great. Like, I didn't even know what goes into, like, building an ad, and now I'm so knees deep in Google Ads that I don't even know, and so I've learned a lot, and they've, like, bought courses for me, and they very, like, held my
Mm.
hand through it all, and so I've been in this role for a few months now, and I'm still continuing to learn and, like, figure stuff out, but it was really one of those things where if I didn't have taken the opportunity just to, like, answer phones and have something in the meantime,
Yep.
like, I would have never been in the position I was in, and I'm, like, thankful too that they're a good company that, like, is giving me the opportunity to grow and, like, they have faith in me, which is awesome. So I'm just kind of banking on that and, like, still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, and a lot of times I tell people it's not what you know, it's who you know. And people, I mean, when people graduate, everyone goes to school, you learn the same courses, you have the same curriculum, you have the same major. But when leaders are hiring or companies are hiring, they're looking for more of the characteristics in a person, right? So when you picked up the phone and you talked to them, they probably heard something and saw something in you that you said differently than everyone else that they talked to. And so you never know your next opportunity. And I tell everyone, no matter who you're talking to, always differentiate yourself, sell your brand, talk about who you are, what motivates you. And it's about the characteristics that will get you the job. It's not about the major, it's not about the internship, it's not about the experience, it's about the characteristics. And they have to feel some kind of connection to you in order to take that leap of faith and invest in you and to, like they said, like to have you grow with them because it's really hard to find people that have certain characteristics that a company wants to invest in. So congratulations to you. That's
Thank
awesome.
you. Thank you, thank you.
So Emma, how about you? What are you doing now and how did you get your job?
Okay, so I work for ODN. It's called Outdoor Nation. It's a out-of-home advertising company, and so basically we do billboards, we do all types of out-of-home advertising. Anytime you see like a wrapped bus or like kiosks, things like that, we're kind of like the middleman between like clients and vendors. And so essentially like I work under like Remax, I work for Wendy's, we do Wendy's advertising. But I got my job. My mom was very like connected in the advertising out of home world. So it goes piggybacks off the who you know. And um, so I was really like immersed in the world early on, and then I knew like who she worked with at a young age, and
Mm-hmm.
then going into college, they offered me a internship, and so I did an internship between our sophomore and junior year, and then um, post grad they offered me a job, and I do POP, which is literally like I get photos of the billboards and stuff. It's honestly so fun. I work from home. It's great, and I've learned so much about the industry and like met so many cool people, and honestly, it is really like the connections you make, the people you know, like it really does make the difference.
When you were at your internship between your sophomore and junior year, like how seriously did you take that? And when you were in your internship, did you like meet people? Did you try to network? Like, because
W-
obviously they called you back 2 years later, right? So what
Well,
did you
yeah,
do in that internship that they wanted you back?
well, I just kind of did it basically it was just kind of broad. So I worked in a lot of different departments. I just like helped out with all of it. But I kind of let them know I was like school is crazy and busy and whatever. Um it was one of those things where like once you're kind of like in it, you're in it. So like even if I didn't end up there, I would have found somewhere else where, there's also connections.
Yep.
But yeah, so it was just more like I was post grad. We reached out, we connected, and they offered me a job. So it's been great.
Good for you both.
Thank
Congratulations.
you.
And so why Nashville? Because you both don't come from Nashville and you both don't come from Alabama. So why did you decide to move somewhere totally new and different and take that leap and try new things? So why did you move to Nashville? Josie, we'll start with you.
Okay. Well, for starters, I think that a lot of people from the University of Alabama end up moving to
Yeah,
Nashville. I think it's like the great migration. Like
really.
graduation happens, you see everyone's Bitmojis on Snapchat
Yeah,
going right to Tennessee. Like it's
yeah.
just it is. Because I think that
North of the South,
it
literally.
it really
Yeah.
is. And
Yeah.
honestly, I think that there's so many young people, there's so much opportunity. I mean, the weather is beautiful. You can never be bored. There's
Yep.
always something going on. So like it as a place itself, and also besides that, we
Yeah,
have had so many fantastic weekends in Nashville, so many great memories in Nashville to where like we kind of knew-ish our way around to
yeah,
where we felt comfortable enough into like potentially calling it home. I do have two older sisters and they both do live here. So like that made it easier for me, just also knowing that I was going to be close to them. But it also was the whole aspect of like, I'm from California. I wasn't going to pack all my stuff up and fly back home. Like it was
Yep.
easier to kind of just make the 3 hour drive in that situation. Also, like financially, it's more responsible, all
Yep.
the things. And so that was kind of a big reason for me. It was just like was family, all the things. And then I mean, you'll talk about it when
yeah,
you would do, but like also like I just wanted nothing more than like to be surrounded by my friends and my family, and like my friends are my family. So I just thought that like the idea of moving out of college and like
Yep.
graduating college and just being like, see ya cross country, like we'll visit each other twice a year was like sick to me. So
yeah,
I was like, we have to all like go somewhere that's like somewhat reasonable. And I feel like nothing's permanent now. Like things
Yep.
can change and like God forbid and like next year we all get like our dream job somewhere else and we have to move. Like I would have no hard feelings towards that about
right.
anybody. But like in the meantime, like we
Yep.
only get this opportunity of our life, I feel like once to be able to live where we want to live and like do like live life, I guess. And so it seemed like the only obvious answer to me. It just did.
Emma, what would you say to that?
Okay, so mine's a little bit more complicated. So So I initially was like, I'm from Florida, and I went to Alabama, and then eventually ended up here. So my sister lives in New Jersey, and I was like, I'm gonna do the New York thing. Like I'm gonna go to New York. I'll be
Hmm.
close to my sister, and that's like, I have a niece and nephew. I'm like, I want to be there, and it was like Nashville had crossed my mind before, but when they were all like deciding to move, I was like, I don't know, like I don't think I can be away. And just like not to go like this, but when my mom passed away, these girls became more to me than
Yep.
like anything I could ever imagine. Like they got me through it. They like they held my hand through all of college. I couldn't have done it without them. And everyone that knows me knows that. So when it kind of came down to like, am I actually gonna make this move? I'm like, no, I can't be away. Like everyone our age keeps saying like we're so old, like we feel so old because we're like graduated college. We're like, oh my, we're not old. Like we're not old.
No, you're
And
not
I'm
old.
lucky. No, seriously, we had this discussion so many times with some people, but and I'm lucky enough to work from home, so I kind of got to like
Yeah.
I had the job before I had the location, and my company's based out of Chattanooga, so honestly, it's super
Perfect.
convenient. They do our, like, yearly, event or whatever, like, in
Retreat,
Nashville,
yeah.
yeah, retreat in Nashville or, like, in Chattanooga, so I'm like, "That also makes sense," and then, yeah, just being near them, like, I had the best years of my life were with them, so it would be, like, kind of silly to not, like, extend that even longer if I can,
Yeah.
and it was a super easy move. It's, like, 4 hours from Tuscaloosa, like,
Mhm.
we didn't have to fly or
Yeah.
drive or, like, do anything like that, like, or, like, have a movie, like, it was just, like, super simple, and it kinda just seemed like the obvious choice, like, it was so last minute, it was, like, May of senior year, and I was like, "Guys, I
Oh
think
my
I'm just gonna
gosh.
go to Nashville," and so I just ended up here, and Alex also moved, and we live in the same apartment, so we kinda just were like, "Let's just do it and, like, play it by ear," and I couldn't be happier, honestly, being around everyone. The weekends are so fun, we have so much to do, and, like, even, like, we do Friendsgiving with all the girls, and it's nice to be around. It is this it's friends, it's the stage of your life where your friends are your family, and
Yep.
it's so true. I couldn't be away from them, so that's how I ended up
Yeah.
So
north.
now those are awesome stories, and there's two themes that you guys pull on when I hear you talking. First of all, like your friends are your family, and there's a lot of people in your life, family and friends, that you'll come across, and you have to stick with those that give you energy. So, like
Right.
Emma and Josie, you both talk about your friends, like you definitely get energy and support out of them. So, it's okay to make them your priority because you need that to continue on. And then, I think the one thing I'm hearing too is it's not permanent. So for a lot of people, they think when they graduate college, they have to have the perfect job. That's their dream job. They have to have the perfect place to live. They have to have the perfect plan, the boyfriend, the engagement, and all the things. And I love what you're saying is like it's not permanent. Let's do this experience now. Let's learn from it and then see what's
Yeah.
next. Instead of saying, here's the rest of my life planned out and I'm just going to follow this checklist if I'm happy or not. So I kudos to you both for just taking that time right now in front of you and saying, this is what I need at this moment to have my next step. I'll figure out my step after that, but let me get energy. Let me use this experience to learn from, and then we'll see what's next because you will
Mhm.
continue to evolve in your life. And, I'm 51, I'm learning something new every day. And
Mhm.
so, unless you put yourself in new experiences, you won't grow and you won't learn. So, congratulations to you both
Thank you.
Yeah,
for
thank
doing
you.
that.
No, I think that too when we were, like, saying it to ourselves, like, in college, and we were like, "It's not gonna be forever," like, I think that I don't even really know if I believed myself, like,
Yeah,
I was kinda like, "God, I do need to find the permanent place, I don't have a job, and this is
absolutely.
awful," but I was like, "No, like, it's
You'll
temporary, like,
figure it out.
in a year, like, we can reconvene," but, like, now since I'm here and, like, living it, like, it really is just, like, the moment, and, like, we're here to, like, enjoy it while it can
Yeah.
last, and, like I said, like, if someone were to get their dream job in a different state and they had to move, like, that's just a part of life, but, like, it really is just, like, we soak it up as
Yeah.
much as we can, we
Yeah.
truly do,
Yeah.
so
And you
it's
don't know,
awesome.
maybe the dream job's in Nashville and you guys will stay there for a long time, right? Like,
Of
there's
course.
no, yeah. So, what would you tell a college student today that maybe doesn't have as much confidence or curiosity as you both did. They are, wanting to make the safe choices and go the safe route, maybe move back home. They're scared of going to a different state and living somewhere by themselves. They have no job. What advice would you give them to help them give them confidence or the safety to make a different choice to have more experiences? So maybe I always start with Josie. So Emma, we'll start with you on that one.
Okay, so I would say I am one of those people that has, like, 0 confidence in myself, which, like, sounds horrible, but in the sense of, like, I always have imposter syndrome. I'm like, "I shouldn't have this job, and I'm not like, what's going on?" And I think my advice would, like, genuinely be, and this is, like, so repeated, but it's, like, life is too short, and I think that we spend so much time worrying about the idea of what's gonna happen versus just actually doing it and trying it, and then when it happens, if it happens in a good way, a bad way, no matter what the scenario is, you're always gonna learn something from it.
Mm,
And also, like, nothing in life is promised. Like,
Yep.
you can wait your whole life to do something and it could just you could reach an age and you're like, "I never did what I wanted to do." And I think
Yep.
we kind of, like, collectively as a group have always had the mindset of, like, we're just gonna try it. Like, we're gonna try it and it's not coming, like, going to Alabama. I think we were like, we all were kind of in the same mindset where we didn't know anybody. We had never lived in Alabama.
Mhm.
And so that was already like how we were. And so then when it came to like moving to Nashville, it was like, we'll just try it. We'll just try it. If it's for a year, if it's for 2 years, like just try it. And then, I mean, see what happens. And honestly, like, I was so worried in the beginning. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like, and I love it. It's been a great time, and I couldn't be happier, like spending time with everybody. And I would just say, just try it.
Yeah.
Why do you think you don't have confidence? You said that like you don't have confidence.
Well,
Why do
no,
you
not
think
like
that?
more in the sense of like imposter syndrome. Like I feel like even now when I'm working, and because to me, I'm like, we always say this, but
We're 16.
we're
Like, we're
16.
permanently 16.
We're 16. So like we honestly, because of COVID, we're kind of stuck in this
Uh,
mindset of like we never grew up, or like not grew up, but
mm,
time kind of just feels like it doesn't feel real. Like when we were
Like, where did
graduating,
the time go?
right? When we were
Because like those
graduating,
3 years of COVID, just like,
yeah,
did they
yeah.
exist? Like, what
uh-huh,
really happened? I mean, like, you were living life, but like, you weren't like having the experiences that you normally would. You weren't talking to the same people. I mean, like, it was a very heavy time of like everyone's lives. So
yeah,
like, it just kind of felt like it was just like a pause, but it wasn't a pause.
Yeah.
We were still
Yep.
growing up and we were still getting older and stuff was
Yep.
still changing.
yeah.
So like,
Yeah, I think that's like, yeah, that's where kind of, and it's almost like the like, am I doing this right, or should I be doing this, or am I in the like? That's kind of like the lack of like confidence. But I think
But wait, so what's the right thing? What's the right answer? What's the right path?
is there one? I don't even know. I mean, I
No,
feel like
there's not. So
there's not.
how do you know what you're doing is wrong? Or why do you think what you're doing is wrong?
I don't. I
true.
Yeah, it's true. That's
There's
so
no
true.
there's no right. There's no
Yeah,
one path. Like there's no one path that takes someone down the road.
right,
It's every path for every person is different. You both
right.
come from different backgrounds. You had different experiences to bring you to this point. You have different interests, different motivators. There's no one path. And I think there's no like perfect, rose garden that you're going to get at the end of it or pot of
Mm-hmm.
gold. So I think
Mm-hmm.
anyone's age, you can't think of it that way. It's not
Right.
perfect and there is no right answer. It's kind of like a scrambled mess along the way. You just make the best out of every portion of it as you can, right? So
Right.
I wouldn't underestimate yourself, Emma. You say you don't have confidence, but I don't see that. So just because you're not doing, like, in your mind, the right path, you're still learning, growing, experiencing, you're independent.
Mhm.
So don't underestimate yourself. Give yourself some credit.
Thank you. I know.
Yeah.
She knows.
So, Josie,
True.
what advice would you give to a college student trying to go down the right path or the should have
Yeah, for
path?
real.
Yeah, yeah, you know.
No, it's good. I mean, I talk to so many people, they all think the same way. And like, this is
Yeah.
why I'm doing it. Like, we have to get
Listen,
people to
it's
say,
just, yeah.
think
It's an
differently
unsure
about it.
time. It's a weird time. Yeah.
Okay, well, I think that I feel the same as you, but in like a different sense to where like I'm also thinking about it right now from a different perspective of like
Yeah.
the whole move to Nashville because we were just talking about it. But
Mhm.
for me, I think that like if I had advice, it would be like take an internal like reflection on yourself
Mm,
because I think that like when we were moving to Nashville, we were all in a position of can we afford it? Are we gonna get a job that we can make enough money to be able to live? Are we going to like make friends? Are we going to this? Are we going to that? At the end of the day, we all moved to Alabama from different parts of the country.
Yeah.
4 years ago, we were different people, and we all somehow within the first month of school met each other and are still best friends to this day. So you have to have faith in yourself that like I know that I can make friends. Like
Yeah.
deep down, like I know that like I know who people are that I like pour a lot into my friends and like I attract friends that do the same to me. Like we all have a great friendship of where like it's so equal. Like we pour into each other as much as like the other person does. And so like that was something that I was never really worried. Like we were gonna go to Nashville and like especially if we're together, like we'll have no problem
Yeah.
like finding a good group of people to hang around with like good morals and good hearts. So like that was also like I had a reflection of myself, like, okay, we'll be fine in that
yep.
aspect. Then in another aspect, like, I remember, like, we were talking about, like, God forbid we can't make enough money to, like, afford how to, like, rent or whatever it may be. But at the same time, I was like, I know you. I know you. I know you. You guys are hardworking go-getters. Like, you guys could work 4 jobs if you had to pay rent, and you guys would be perfectly fine because you guys have grit and, like, you guys are hardworking and you guys are good people who, like, wanna get it done. So, like, in reality, like, all the people that like we were talking about making this big move to Nashville and like where are we gonna do after this? Like I had no doubt in my mind that like if we all needed to do it, we could. So like
Yep.
I was like, let's just like put it, like in hindsight, like it's easier to say now too. And like I was probably trying to trick my mind at the time into thinking that, but like I have so much faith in like also like myself and my friends that like we're all like just like hard workers in the sense of like we would never in a million years
Yeah.
let ourselves like be in a position where we couldn't make rent. Like if we had to work 3 jobs, we would. If we had to
Right.
do the things, we would. Because like I guess that's just also a part of life and like that was something we were willing to sacrifice to also like live together, live in a fun city and like all the things. So like my advice I guess to people would just be like if you're willing to do it and it's something that you think is going to make yourself happy, like it's it's possible. It's always possible. So like wherever you want to go, whatever you want to do, like it's just if you, like, work hard, which sounds so stupid,
I
but,
know,
like
No, it doesn't. It
so,
doesn't.
like, if you work hard
but
enough.
it's true. It is
Yeah.
so
I'm
true.
like, if you work hard, but, like, seriously, like, I felt like I would right now work, like, 3 jobs to be able to hang out with my best friends every day on the
Right.
weekends. Like, like, I would
But
do anything
yeah, and
possible.
you were willing to answer phones, right, to get a job and just to make sure that you were getting paid. So I think it's the willingness to just take any opportunity. But kind of
Mhm.
going back to what you said is you said something, I don't even know if you noticed you said it, but it's like take time to think about what your internal voice is telling you.
Mhm.
And so like, and I had an interview yesterday and a woman said that COVID was a time she was in advertising and COVID allowed her the time to take a pause. And it's the first time she could listen to her internal voice versus other people telling her what she should have been doing. And so she totally changed and shifted her career based on that pause that she had. And so for you, Josie, to say like, people get so caught up, especially in college, because you're around other people doing all different things and you have this, should have or you should be doing this because of other people are saying or doing, and you almost get your internal voice gets lost in terms of what you want to do or what makes you happy or what your motivators are. So it's not so much about keeping up with everyone else or doing what everyone else is doing. It's pausing and making sure you listen to your own internal voice. And you both did, it sounds like, because even though that probably wasn't, the normal path. You knew that's what you wanted to do. You wanted your friends to be around you. You wanted that support system. You wanted to be in a town, in a city where you could experience different things. And that's why you took that leap of faith. And a lot of people don't listen to them and themselves. And I think who cares what other people think? That internal voice, not everyone's going to love it. But again, no one else is living your life but you. So you have to be okay and take a pause and listen to what you want instead of getting caught up in everyone else. So I don't even notice if you said that, Josie, but that came through loud and clear when you made that comment.
Yeah, of course, I'm just, like, word vomiting, and then all of a sudden I'm speaking, like, wisdom. Question mark.
That's why we do this. That's why we do this.
Oh, no, we
All
have
right.
therapy? I'm like,
This is
okay.
awesome.
So these actually turned into very therapeutic conversations for
No,
both
seriously.
myself and you all. Like I learned something new about every person I interview, and that's why I keep doing it. So I love it.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go into a little bit of a different Thirsty Thursday hot topics. I've never done this before, but there's like hot topics that I have in my brain
I'm
all
so
the time
excited.
when I'm in situations and I'm like, am I the only person that thinks this? And so I want to just ask some random questions. There's no right or wrong answer, but it's just like these social experiments that I struggle with. And so I just thought it'd be cool to talk about it. So I struggle between being independent and then being honoring chivalry. And so I always want to be a strong, independent woman. I want to do stuff myself, but I also figure out how to be equal in a partnership, right? So this is where I'm coming from. And I travel a lot for work. I'm in a very male dominated work industry. So a lot of my questions come from that. Know that. So when I travel on an airplane, I always have my roll on suitcase. And when you get on an airplane, do you think that if your suitcase is too heavy, that you should have a man help you? Or if a man helps you, you should take you should say, yes, I'll help you. Or do you think you should be able to lift that suitcase yourself as a woman and put it on the overhead?
Lift it myself.
Do you know how many times I've been in the bathroom practicing to make sure that I can pick it up myself.
People, I saw this on TikTok. People practice putting it up. That's me.
That's literally
my
me.
palms get
That's
sweaty.
why I lift weights. I'm like, I'll be damned if I have to have someone help me lift my
No.
suitcase.
There's no helping. I'm putting that thing up myself, and I'll shove it. I'll sweat. I'll get bright red. I'm doing it.
I will literally be like, time to lock in, Josie. Like, boom.
Yeah, every time.
So I have
Every
people
time.
offer to help me, and I'm like, no, thank you, I got it. And then they get like all pissy about it, and I'm like, dude, it's okay. Like, I got it. I appreciate you. So I'm torn between like, poor men, right? Because they don't know what to do.
Poor
And it's like,
men.
do I ask them for help or do I leave them alone? They're probably confused, but I love that answer. So I agree. So like, if you're going to bring a roll-on suitcase, pick that shit up yourself and put it in the overhead bin and don't ask for help. And I know it's hard for women. If it's too hard, check the fucking bag. Right? Like,
I do. Like, I will go up to the stand and be like, check it, because I'm like, I'm
forever like, there's not enough overhead room. So
Every
check the
time.
bag. I'm like,
especially if I've already checked a main bag. If I have to go to the baggage claim anyway, I'm checking the roll. I'm doing it.
exactly.
Yeah.
I love
Every
it.
time.
Yay. There's hope in the
Yeah.
world. All right.
Yeah,
So
no, it's
second
not this year.
question. When you are dating, let's say first, second date, and you go on a date, do you feel like the person you're with, and I don't know, gender or whatever, do you split the bill, or if it's a man, do you let them pay for it?
They gotta pay.
Yeah.
They have to.
Why?
Well, okay. Well, this is the only.
That's
and this
very
is what I'll say.
contradictory to the suitcase, though.
I know.
I'm
I know,
confused.
but okay,
This
I'm
is the
super
only
confused.
reason. It's because I've like thought about this before and like had this conversation before. But if I feel like in certain situations there is like a chivalry kind of presence, and I feel like with the bill, I would feel almost like not offended if they wanted me to split it, but I would be like, oh, this didn't go well, or I would want to pay for it. I could, and I would like be willing to, but I feel like if they weren't offering, I would feel like maybe they didn't think it was going well, if that makes sense. You know, like I
I
would feel
don't.
like, what do you think?
Yeah, I
Josie,
also
what do you
feel
think?
like it in terms of like if we were like in theory going on a date to like a football game or like a hockey game
Yeah.
or like tickets somewhere, like I would expect you to buy my ticket, which I don't know if that's like if it also feeds into this whole situation. But in that same situation, it's like I'm not expecting you to pay, and like I would be fine. No, I wouldn't.
Not me either. And here's the thing,
No,
I
wouldn't.
just talked about this with my sister recently, but I feel like it's like in some cases, I feel like the man, like the person in the situation that's taking you out has to be like more willing or excited to like pay for it, because they want to be there, they want to do it, they want to like treat you to it, versus like, oh, this is something we're doing as like, oh, and it would almost make it feel like maybe it was like friends if we were splitting.
I think also it's circumstantial. Like
Yes.
if it was a first date, I would expect him to pay.
Yes.
If it's a fifth date
Yeah.
and we're going to like somewhere, I don't know, that's like insane, then I'm like, okay, yeah, like we both like each other now, like we can, you know, because like I feel like that would be more appropriate. But I think that like if you're trying to prove, I don't know, that you like someone,
Yeah.
it's like respectable to, or at least like I don't know, because I also would say like if I were to offer.
Yeah.
But would you ever ask a man on a date? Would you ask someone out for the first time?
Maybe possible. Like on a date, like a dinner date.
You were to ask someone out, would you be the one paying for it, or would you still expect him to pay for it if you asked him out?
I think
That's a great
that's
question.
actually so good. I think this is my thing. The only scenario where I'm asking someone to do something is like we should go to a baseball game, or we should go to a, like, it's not like a, if it was a, like, I don't think I would ever personally ask someone to like go to a dinner date.
Yeah.
But if it was like we're going to an event, I would buy my ticket in that case.
Yeah.
If it was a concert or like something like that, like, and I asked them, it would be like I'll like get I guess I'll get the tickets, or like, you know,
Yeah.
that's tricky.
I don't know. I've never really thought about that.
So so go back. And we're just going to do the man woman thing in this scenario.
Okay.
But so if the man asks you out on a date and he pays for the date, and let's say it's 1, 2, even third date, he's paying for it. Do you feel like if he paid for it that you owe him something?
No.
Or there's some sense of obligation?
No.
Do you think
No.
that he thinks that?
I would hope not.
I would also hope not. I also think it's because I don't know, I feel like maybe that's just, like, how it's been, so, like, I just am,
Yeah.
like, old school in that sense where I
Or
think
it's
that's
like
appropriate, but at the same
yeah.
time, like, I would have I feel like also though, like, it's different because you would, like paying for dinner is one thing, but, like, if we were going to, like, get coffee, like, I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh, like, I'll just pay for your coffee."
Yeah.
Or, like, if we're going to get, like, lunch, like, low stakes, like,
Right.
something that's, like which, like, I'll pay for your lunch, like, 3 dates in a row if that's the case, but, like,
Mhm.
if it's something like we're meeting each other for the first time and, like, I'm taking time out of, like, my day, which you know how this goes. If I'm taking time out of, like, my day, like, I don't know, that sounds also so
But I
horrible.
also no, but this is the thing. I think this is genuinely a good question in general because I've never thought about it in depth, but I think
Mhm.
a lot of the time too, it's instilled in us. Like our dads will be like, he better pay and he better open the door and he like, you know what I mean? It's one of those
Why?
things where it's
Why
like,
though? Why?
I don't know.
Why do you think your dads say that? Where does that
I
come
think it's
from?
sort of like protective, and I think that's like what they would want is the respect or like maybe the interest
Or it's like
or
they're taking care of you in a
yes,
sense of,
yeah,
like
which goes
Why can't you take care of yourself? Do they
I
say
think it's
that if
pretty
you have a
true.
brother? I don't know if either of you have a brother. Do they say the same thing to
we
the
both
We
brother?
both don't have powder, we're just sister girls, so maybe
So
that's why.
why does someone have to take care of you and not the brother in that situation? Why can't you take care of yourself?
Yeah, that is
That's a great question, but I think that too that I have like a crossroads at this because my dad is also somebody who's like he wants to take us shooting and he wants us to be as like protective of
Yeah,
our own
yeah.
selves as possible, aware of our surroundings. We do not ever let somebody like walk all over us. Like my dad, since we have been little girls, have always instilled that in us of like protect yourself, never rely on someone, look out, like
right.
find the exit, like
Good.
always, always, always be one step ahead than the person that you're with. But at the same time, I think it's a respect thing that if they're willing to pay your bill for dinner, then they like you enough to like want to pay.
Mm.
And I think that like you said, like in the beginning, like if you were to be like, "Oh, do you want to split the bill?" I'd be like, "Oh, like he doesn't want to like fully like go all in on the dinner. He doesn't really like me."
He doesn't wanna spend money on me, like,
Mm.
I'm not yeah, I don't
So
know, it is
what if you both work equal jobs, or even a different question, what if you have a job that you are getting paid more and you can afford the dinner and he can't?
See,
okay,
but I think it's also different if you're dating. Like,
yes.
for instance, like, yeah, no, yeah, I think it's different if you're
I
dating. But
think this
like,
is the thing, I think first date, if he's asking, like, I have a small, like, expectation for him to pay, I think past first date, it's kind of just, like, up in the air.
Okay, that's fair.
If we're gonna go to, like, a park and, like, of course, there's free dates, but I think if he's asking me to go to, like, a nice place for dinner, in my head, he's like, he can afford it, and he can also afford to, like, take me out
mhm.
in a way. Like, he's making the effort and he's
Yeah.
willing to do it. I think in a situation where he couldn't afford it, of course, like, if he's still willing to take me regardless of the amount of money he has, that's also
I think that also says
a
something about
bonus.
the person. Like, I know somebody who, like, they started dating and, like, he had not a lot of money, she had not a lot of money, but, like, at the same time, like, he was willing to take her out on dinner dates and do all these things, even though he had no money because he wanted to prove something to her. And then, like, they went on, like, a big road trip and did the whole nine, and they were, like, splitting gas and, like, splitting hotels and, like, splitting that cost. And, like, in my mind, like, I think that is, like, ideal and, like, acceptable because, like, you're far enough down the line to where you both agree that, like, we like each other,
Mhm.
and so, like, we'll put the same amount of
Yeah.
investment in each other, but in order for us to get to that point, I need to know, like, as a girl, like, are you gonna
Yeah.
willingly, like also because if shit gets rough sorry, I don't know if, like
Yeah, I mean, we swear on this. It's all good.
okay, good.
Okay.
This is the first time, I think.
I
That's
know,
crazy.
wow, that's surprising for us.
Like
We're
if shit hits
sailors.
the fan and all of a sudden, like they have no money, God forbid, like, I would still love you, but are
100%.
you still willing to put in the
Yeah.
work to, like, be able to
Yeah.
go to
Yeah.
a nice dinner on, like, our anniversary or something? Like, I feel like it says a lot
Yeah.
about a person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So you
I
want to
don't
know my
know, like, you
opinion?
just picked my
Okay.
brain.
Seriously,
So
I've
you
never
want to
thought
know
about it.
my
It's true.
Here's my opinion. So,
Okay.
I think where it comes from, if you look back to the question why your dad say this is, or are they taking care of you? Back in the day, right, women didn't work, right? They were, made to stay home, have kids, and if you think about really where it came from, women had dowries. You were sold with farmland and animals and all
Right.
the things, and you would go to the next man and that man would take over responsibility from the father, right? So
Right.
it's very
Right.
traditional in terms of that mindset where it comes from. It's almost like an ownership thing. And
Mhm.
so for me, like my first date ever in high school, like I have never allowed a man, and I don't know where it came from, but in my mind, my perspective is if I let someone pay for the food that I'm eating, why can't it be equal if we're both be seen as equals? It was very important for me
Mhm.
to be seen as an equal. And I felt like if I let the man pay for any part of it, that I would owe him something and it was unequal. And for me, that's very unsettling because I strive to have equality in my relationship. So now there are times where like there were special treats, he took me out, I took him out 100%. But overall, like I feel like it has to always toggle back and forth. And for me, I didn't want that feeling. And this is just personal. I felt like I owed that person something if they were to pay for the whole dinner. And so I always I don't care how tacky it is, but anyone that couldn't put up with that, they weren't for me because I needed that person to see me as an equal. And I worked just as hard as that person. Didn't want to be owned by anyone. I've always been it. And some men were like, this is stupid. Like you're crazy. I'm like, well, then you're not for me. You're not a good partner because this is my expectation. So that's why I asked that question. And that's where I'm coming from my perspective.
Yeah,
I
that makes sense.
completely understand that. I also think that from your perspective too, I think that makes a lot of sense in terms of like if a man's intimidated about you being a
Yes.
strong woman who can't
Correct.
afford that, then that's an insecure
That
man.
and I think that's where you
Correct.
can tell a lot
Correct.
about them is with this
Correct.
that scenario is if they expect something from you because they paid, not for me. But if
Correct.
they want to be equal with me, like that's how
Yep.
you know that it's not you can tell a lot by this like scenario.
Yeah. No,
Actually.
agreed. That was a good one. All right. So
Mhm.
next question. A man opening a door for you or not opening a door for you?
So we're talking like let it slam in my face.
No. Okay. Let me set it up a little bit differently. No, that's called physical abuse. That's like, no.
It's like they're in front of me, they let it slam on. Like, oh, I'm
So
done.
here, a man's walking ahead of you. Let's say
Okay.
you're behind him,
Okay.
and he's going to go into the office entrance or the mall entrance first. And he sees you, so he pauses, he stops, he slows down, he opens the door for you, and he says, "Go ahead, ma'am." That sounds old, or go ahead, right? And he lets you go through. Do we like that or do we not like that?
Love it.
I
Right?
feel indifferent.
Wait, really? I feel like that's just a kind gesture. I would hold the door for it, like
I think no, if he held the door open for me, I wouldn't be like, "You have the door open for me." Like that's disgusting. Like I wouldn't be like offended he held the door open. But at the same time, a majority of the time nowadays that I'm walking in somewhere, men do not open the
No
door.
one's holding the door. Yeah,
no.
No
that's
one's
fair.
That
opening
is
the
true.
door.
I didn't think
So like
that.
my day-to-day life, like if a man did that, I probably would not clock it and be like, "Oh, he didn't open the door." Which like
Fair.
but like if he did, I wouldn't be like, "Oh my God, you opened the door." Like I'd be like,
Yeah.
"That's nice."
Yeah,
Like
I'm a door
that'll
opener. I will linger at the
me
door
too.
for how many
Me
people
too.
need to come in.
I agree, and then I wait, and if you don't say thank you, I'm like, "I shouldn't have opened the door."
yeah, but I feel like holding the door open is one of those things where it's like we have lost a lot of connections as humans, and that is one little
Agreed.
small gesture you can make
I
that's like
agree.
even if it's just that small, sometimes it makes my day if someone holds the door for me
But
and
I love
give 'em
I
a little
agree.
smile.
personally holding the door open for somebody that's like older or like a
Yeah.
woman,
Yes.
Yeah.
which
Yes.
sounds like insane, but like today an older woman was like in the post office, like, and she was like behind me, and I was like, oh, like it takes 2 seconds out of my day right now to
Right.
stop and open the door for her.
Exactly.
You know, like
No, I agree. The lack of I think it's respect just for overall
Yes.
humanity that people don't have. It's always like everyone's in it for themselves and people are so unaware of the people around them. So they're just
I
walking
agree.
through doors sometimes in front of you, they don't even like see you. So I hold the door for anyone and everyone,
Mhm.
especially elderly. Like I have a soft spot and I will always hold the door for them. So yeah, it's
Mhm.
good.
Yeah, I
And
don't know if it's just like a gender thing.
no, Mm-mm. But like poor men these days, because they're trying to figure us out, right? Like, do they want to be independent? Do they want to be have chivalry? Like, it's confusing,
Yeah,
and we're
no,
figure.
seriously. And us just talking about this has made me realize there is kind of like a
Double standard.
yeah, it's
Like,
kind of like I
yeah.
wanna be like romance, but I also wanna like
Want
I
to be
love being
independent,
alone,
right?
and I'm strong within myself, and I'm like, I don't need a man to do anything for me, but at the same time, you know,
It's
No
people
wonder
go
true.
they
out
don't
desperate
ask
for
anyone
something.
out.
Yeah,
You're real.
They're confused.
They're so confused.
oh my god, true.
That's
Anyway,
insane.
all right. Well,
I love that.
we're at almost at time, so I'm going to give you guys a quick moment for any last words or anything you want to tell any kind of younger female generation as they enter into either the college world or the professional world. Any last words of advice that you'd want to provide to them? So Emma, we'll start with you on that.
Go ahead. I would just say that being a girl is the best thing in the world because the community you get from being a girl, even when you go in the bathroom and you're like, I like that top,
Yeah.
guys can do that. So just honestly, just making friends here and there, being with your girlfriends, spending time with them, being independent, like we said, it's essential. You get to know yourself, you get to
Yep.
know what you want, what you like. And again, like life is short. Like
Yep.
just try it, do it. I mean, and honestly, like going to college it was one of the best things I ever did. I highly recommend it.
Mhm.
And honestly, just like I don't know, being I was gonna say be yourself, which is crazy, but it's true. You only meet people for being yourself, and
Yep.
we have never faked anything. It's always been so like authentic. So just be you and
Mhm.
do what you want to do, and just be happy doing that.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Awesome.
piggyback off of you. I think the exact same thing. I think that, like, in terms of being a girl, like, it's the best. Do fun things like watch Traders together, watch The Bachelor together, watch Dancing with the
Do
Stars,
Tell Me
do
Lies night,
Friendsgiving,
Love
like,
Island nights.
do it all, enjoy it all, go to shopping at Trader Joe's together if that's what you
Yep.
wanna do. Like, do everything possible, and also, like, surround yourself with good people. I think that there was a lot of times in my life where I felt like I felt like I was trying my best as I could as a
Yep.
friend and like I wasn't feeling it was reciprocated. And I went to college and finally for the first time in my life felt like, oh my God, like this is what it's felt like to like have like those friendships. And I think that that's something that's so important. Like it's never a doubt in your mind when you know that a good friend is for you.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
like lean into your gut, trust yourself, and you know when something's right, you know when something's wrong. And like even when something like happens and after the fact you're like, oh, I should have trusted my gut. Like that just makes you even more
Yep.
know that you need to trust your gut, like, going forward. Like, it's just something that, like, it's a part of life, and, like, I think that too, like, we're still so young, and, like, we were in the Uber the other day talking about we were like, "Oh my god," we were like, "Now turning 23, like, we're gonna throw
Oh
up." Like,
boy.
the
I
Washed
know.
up at
No, no,
23.
it's sad. It's sad.
the Uber literally was like, "Can you guys stop?" And we were like, "Oh." And he was like, "You guys don't understand what we would do to be I would do to be
Yeah,
23." And honestly,
Yeah.
I've been thinking that was, like, a few weeks ago, and
yeah,
I've still been thinking about to this
me
day because
too.
'cause I'm like, it feels so easy to get ahead of yourself and feel like you're
Yep.
so old
Or
or
you're
that, like
behind,
yeah.
because we'll go on Instagram and people are getting engaged and having kids, and I'm like, I want to
It's
go
so
watch Love
far,
Island with my friends and like
so far from
giggle
that.
and like have a fun night, and that's just
Yeah.
enjoy that
Agree.
time. Yeah,
Everyone's
And I think
different. You
do
don't
things
have,
like this. Like, I
yes,
feel like this is fun. Like, I love when I get to meet somebody and it's just like natural conversation. It flows.
yep.
It's just like healthy. You learn from each other
yeah.
and like I don't know, like
Connection.
your
Connect.
your friend, your mom's friends, like your aunts, like other like older women in our lives that have been like so
Yep.
wonderful to us. Like it's
Yes.
just like so fun to even just like keep up with and just like
Yep.
text and like
Yep.
it's just fun and you learn so much from
Agreed.
each other and I think it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, no, and I love that, have fun being a girl, but I would say find the community. You all have said
Yeah.
that. Find your friends, but also I think as girls and women, we have to not judge so much. Like I
Right.
see so much judgment, especially with your age women, and it's like there's no right or wrong
No.
answer. And if someone wants to do something, let them have at it if that's what makes them happy, as long
Right.
as they're being respectful and kind, right, to others and not hurting others. But not everyone has to love what you're doing. And so I think we have to be a little bit more graceful at not judging friends or non friends. If someone's doing something we don't agree with, that's okay, and let it
Mhm.
be okay.
Yeah.
So I think you guys have a really strong community, but I think a lot of other women need to hear it. Like if you
Yeah.
don't like someone, then don't be part of that friend group. Then move on
Right.
and find a new friend, right?
Right.
It
For
doesn't
sure.
mean that it's your forever friend. So,
Yeah.
well, anyway, Emma and Josie, it's been fantastic on Thirsty Thursday. So let's do one more cheers.
Happy Thursday! I'm
So
so
this was
glad you
super
did this.
fun.
Thank you so
And-
much for having us.
Yeah,
you.
and I'm going to wrap it up with once again, thank you for the Root to Rising podcast. Again, creating a platform of lots of stories and experiences that we've shared today for you all to learn from. And hopefully a man can listen to this and figure out if he should open a door for us or not, if he should pay for dinner or not. Like, good luck to you. We want to be independent, but we want the romance. So figure it out, right?
Absolutely.
All right, girls, hold on.
Thank you.